Well, Victor Ochei is sometimes that's about the most difficult question. How do you describe yourself? Victor Ochei is one man or one boy that was given birth to sometime in the family of the Ocheis to late Mr. and Mrs. Donald Ochei, and I grew up as a boy in Kano, attended primary school in Kano, secondary school in Kano. I knew very much of Kano, much more than I know of Delta State or then Bendel State. And eventually, today, growing up, went to University of Benin and so many other universities. And finally, today I'm in politics. I guess the first Ochei that ever ventured into politics. And maybe as we go on, I'll be able to say more about myself, but I find it difficult to say who I am, what I have done. If I begin to say that, I might take the whole day. Well, first I must say, to even get into the House as a minority it's the grace of God. I guess that was the vision of God for my life at the point when I got in, because 99% did not give me the opportunity that I was going to be able to make it into the House, because it was unthinkable for anybody to go into the House and defeat the majority party at that time, to defeat the PDP. But it did happen, and that gave me the position of deputy minority leader, because I was in the minority and we're not too many, and so I got that, clinched that, and served in that capacity until I got to a point sometime in maybe 2006. I had to leave the minority party and wooed by the majority party, and I had to join the majority party. So that was when I recontested. Well, it may interest you to know that I was the first person to represent my constituency twice in the State House of Assembly, this time around under the PDP. And I became chairman House Committee on Education, and I served in that capacity for 4 years alongside other committees where I served. Then, a third time, another history in the making, I was the first to represent them again a third time. And became the very first speaker from the federal constituency that I ever produced by the federal constituency. So it's all about being first, and making of history all my legislative life. What I'll attribute to it, I wouldn't know, but I think first and foremost is the commitment and dedication, because you must be willing to learn. I came in as a greyhound. I've never been into politics, but I came in understanding and learning the ropes. I like to debate. I was a member of the debating society while in secondary school, so I led my secondary school to success a lot of times. But you won't, if I say that did not help me, then I lie, because it gave me a sound footing. I had overcome stage fright a long time ago, so stage fright was not an issue for me. I've also overcome things like not being able to, not being able to articulate your points, even when you know what the points are. Some people don't know how to articulate them properly, but I did. I learned to do all of that. So these are the things that, in a lot of ways, helped me and shaping how to work in the Legislative House. But right there in the House of Assembly, there's a different kind of whatever that you need to learn. There's the politics of the assembly alongside representing your constituents and ensuring that the benefits of representation gets back to them. You need to learn that rope. And learning that rope is learning to reach across the aisle and getting across to your colleagues, who together form the synergy of what you call the Delta State House of Assembly. And you must work with them in such a manner that if you do not do it well, you will not be able to penetrate and get anything done or happen for you. So all of those are things that we need to learn, and I took my time to learn the ropes, and today the story is different. I guess that I can largely attribute to the success. Well, for my constituents, if you ask me my agenda, I'm not representing them a first time, so I will not be able to say to you what an agenda is. But for them to have voted me 3 consecutive times in office tells you how much I have been to them. And I'm sure if I was ready to run a 4th time, they will still give it to me. They will not consider anybody before me. But largely, I think when I got in 2003, what I realized was that the representation we had was below average. Let me use the word below average, in the sense that I believed we could have done better. I believed we would have been able to influence a lot of things to the local government, considering the caliber of top government functionaries that we had in government at the time. But I was also taken aback by the fact that that was not done. But that's not to say, when I came in and I saw what it was, how did I get to the people? One, you need to understand that these people are the grassroots, are the very essence for why you get into political office, so you need to serve them. And if you do not take that into consideration in all you do, then you're going to have problems. So what I did was to come down to their level, understand their very basic needs. What are the basic needs? Roads, water, electricity, and all of that. Those were the basic needs that they had, and we started dealing with them. And that's how we arrived there. Made sure that they had good roads, the ones that were under construction, ensured that they got completed, the ones that also needed to be fresh roads to be done, get them on board so that you can begin to deal with all of this. That was how we arrived there. Places where they had no water, provided water. And then, of course, electricity was a problem. Even though the constituency was connected to the grid, we had low power because there was lack of transformers in certain places and all of that. Those were things one had to influence and all of that. But to show them that I was ready to work, I floated the Victor Ochei Foundation in 2002 before I got into office. And what did I do? I got buses for them on the road, and I paid 50% of what the transport cost was, because since the roads were very bad, the transporters were exploiting the people, and they pay so much. But you don't blame them, because for each trip they go through, they'll probably have to repair the vehicles. So I did all of that, and I paid 50% of the cost and put the buses on the road. So our constituents, the women, the children, will pay only half the price to get to wherever they were going to. And they were ready to wait for Ochei's bus. And they will not enter the normal commuters and wait for Ochei's bus. And of course, that increased my popularity rating. But that is not a way to say, okay, you fool them to get into office. By the time I got into office, I also ensured that I continued doing what I was doing for them. And today, the story is different.